Good Monday to everybody out there. It is election eve. And let me throw this up. That way you're aware. There's a language warning tonight because one person has pissed me off. But welcome. It's time to jump into the fire, and that SOB is not going to be able to handle the heat from this fire that I'm going to give him. And we'll get to that in a little bit, but it is election eve. Is everybody ready? Garth Brooks is live. Who would you rather watch, me or Garth? If you want to watch Garth, that's cool. But if you want to watch me, that's even cooler. Nothing like on a really chilly Monday night, good cup of coffee. And a damn good cigar. And we'll reference that. I saw my son, hi, Kim. Hello, Alan. Anybody else? I saw Clint Powell chimed in during break podcast, Marketing Mix Radio. Be sure to check out Clint Powell. Also, if you'll notice in the hi, Alice. I'm glad Alice popped in. Thursday, 4 to 7. It is open. The Lookouts team store at AT&T Field. And off sale. They always have great stuff in the team store, and oh, it's so good. It's kind of interesting. Remember, you will guest, and we're going to try, if you guys will help me out, a little celebration tomorrow night. Should be joined by my daughter, Amy, who tomorrow will be celebrating 60 days of sobriety. With your thoughts and prayers, she's been able to get through this. Yeah, I froze up. I freaking froze. It will bounce back, Alice. I promise you, it will bounce back. It's the cold weather. We can't help it. I wish we could. But it's interesting. And I've tried to lay low during the campaigns and everything. Don't forget, if you do live in Tennessee, House District 29, give me a write-in vote tomorrow. Don't let that douchebag Mike Carter run unopposed. At least throw my name out there. Make sure you color in the dot before you write my name in. I have not tipped my hand. Lookouts team store, Alice, Thursday night, 4 to 7 p.m. will be open to the public, 20% off. That's a pretty big deal. For those of you who missed it Saturday, I am on. I will not be behind the microphone for public address announcing until COVID is over. That's for anybody. So, but it's interesting. I've tried not to tip my hand as to who I'm voting for. You're going to find out tomorrow night. But please don't tell me how I should vote. Please. I'm going to use this. And I'm going to use this right here. I'm going to use my heart. to make my decision who to vote for. Or I've already voted. I voted the first Friday that there was early voting in Tennessee. And I used this, and I used my heart to make my decision. And you'll find out tomorrow night who I voted for. It's going to be interesting. If you didn't watch the news tonight, the federal judge out in Texas said, yeah, you have to count those 127,000 drive-through votes. They're legal. So you'll find out tomorrow night who I cast my ballot for. I can tell you I did not vote for Bill Haggerty for Senate in Tennessee because I think he's a douchebag. I did not vote for the incumbent Chuck Fleischmann. I did vote for Glenn Scruggs over Todd Gardenhire for the Tennessee Senate. And I voted for myself for the Tennessee House District. It's going to be interesting to see. The one thing I'm hoping for, no matter how it turns out, all I'm asking is if Biden wins, don't gloat. If Trump wins, don't gloat. I have never been as pissed off. Well, I was yesterday, which I'm going to get to, than I was when McCain and Obama were running. And I am a huge fan and will always be a huge fan of John McCain. John McCain is an American hero. And an Obama supporter texts me incessantly at 2:00 in the morning. You're exactly right. Whoever wins, accept it and move on. Don't show your ass either side. I think he is an American hero. I am proud to have served in the same branch of the service as John McCain. But the guy texts me incessantly at about 2:00 in the morning, gloating over President Obama's victory. Finally, I just said, show some freaking class. Show some class. Don't gloat. And I'm hoping that's what happens when all the results are in and a winner is declared. That's all I'm hoping for. What I fear, and I hope that's not the case, is an even more divided nation will grow further apart. And we just can't afford that. We just cannot afford that. And we have, I don't know what we've done as parents. And I think part of it goes to the fact that we have a generation of kids who have grown up in a household where both parents had to work. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that plays into a lot of it, in that we do have generations that don't accept it, and they don't accept anything but their way. And I was very lucky. My mother had the hardest job in the world. She was a housewife. And I have so much respect for the women who hold down the jobs and keep a house also. But my mom was there. Breakfast when I went to school, if I wanted it. No, when I was in high school, I was too anxious to burn a joint on the way to school. So I skipped breakfast. But my mom never had to work. My dad made enough money to... Are you laughing at my cigar, Cindy? Are you laughing at my cigar? I'm going to cry. One of my crushes is laughing about me smoking his cigar. Oh, God, yeah, it made me hungry, but I was too stoned to care. I was just... Cindy remembers Coach Falk. And there was a reason I had health class immediately after my lunch. There was a reason I went to the smoking area. Yes, back in the day, you had a smoking area in school. And there was a reason why I would eat lunch real quick and go out and burn one, because that was the only way I could survive Coach Falk's health class, was to be stoned. Yeah. I mean, even once the Supreme Court ruled, Kim, on W and Al Gore accepted it and just moved on. Tipper divorced him, of course, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, but just everybody remember how I close out every night: be kind to each other. That's what we need to do when this is all over. 2020 has been a shitty year so far. And then we had to deal with time change last night. Which I just despise, changing back over to standard time. Pardon me. This is a special occasion cigar, because my special message for somebody in just a little bit. I have no idea which source I'm going to watch for the election results tomorrow night. My gut inclination is to go with CBS. the network of Walter Cronkite. But all news sources are skewed now, all of them. The only thing you get, basically all you get on CNN is from the left. All you get on Fox News is from the extreme right. By the way, this new spokesperson that the White House has, this new doctor, remember one thing, he has no knowledge of infectious disease. He's a freaking radiologist. My go-to locally is still Dr. Christopher Grady Haddock. And he knows of which he talks about. So, but there is the count last night down in Rome was between 10 and 15,000 people. Now, here's my question. I know parents who they and their children went to Rome last night. If those students were absent from school today, is that going to be an excused absence? I need an expert to chime in on that. But don't forget, we will have a special election night edition of Jump Into the Fire tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, but it's also going to be a celebration of 60 days of sobriety for my daughter, Amy. That is pretty damn cool. That is pretty damn cool. If you remember, we added a new person to the piece of shit list Saturday night. This guy right here, David Toulis from Nuga Radio 92.7. He actually went to the Tennessee Supreme Court in Nashville this morning with a writ of mandamus demanding the immediate hearing to declare Governor Lee's state of emergency as unconstitutional. Don't think he's heard anything back yet. Do you really think he will? Or did he take part of the money he's raising on his GoFundMe page just to make a trip to Nashville? But he did it. And here he is trying to do away with mask mandates and everything else. Keep in mind that there are only like 6 counties in Tennessee that have a mask mandate. And those are the counties who have their own separate health departments. Hamilton being one of them. And we can only hope that my old high school classmate, County Mayor Jim Coppinger, the mask mandate in Hamilton County ends on the 8th or the 9th. Let's hope he at least extends it till the end of the year. And then we go back and revisit. State of Massachusetts today, governor issued a stay-at-home directive. Great Britain's under lockdown, and that is from the prime minister who did have COVID. And he is, as Boris Johnson is a conservative, but that's why there are some people operating under the illusion that after tomorrow, this is all going to go away. It's not. And I will continue to do what I do to minimize any risk until there is a safe and effective vaccine. If you want to go back and scroll through my Facebook, my social media, most of you have known me for quite a while. My dear friends out in California, the Weisenbachs. God, I hope I get to see you guys in softball season. But if COVID's not gone, you won't. And I'm just lucky that the university is understanding. And is when it's all over, they want me back. But I had put on there that my cardiologist has said, if I get COVID, I will die. And there was one jackwagon, or as I affectionately refer to down there, an asshat. Who brought up the fact that I smoke. That how can I smoke and be in congestive heart failure? Or something to that effect. And how I was insinuating something that wasn't true. Then one of the responses had the hashtag Democrat, which had me. There we go. And as I said, one of his responses was hashtag Democrat. So I continued to get livid. Maybe I shouldn't have. I may be a lot of things. I may be an asshole, a jackwagon, an asshat, but I will never lie about my health. Because there have been too many people that have stepped up to help me when I needed them. Do not insinuate, you jackwagon asshat, that my post number one was politically motivated, because your hashtag Democrat was a freaking political comment. And then don't question whether I'm being upfront about my health. You fat ass douchebag. That's for you. I have had 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heart attacks. I had 5 bypasses. I have 8 stents. I am not obese. Heart disease runs in my family. From the age of 43 to 53, my father had 10 heart attacks and 1 stroke in a 10-year period. And he died in 1979 at the age of 53. His brother died early from heart disease. I am not obese. David Letterman had a quintuple bypass. A lot of heart disease is heredity. And mine is that my body does not take care of cholesterol like it should. And it never has. And that's being on statin drugs. And after you have 6 heart attacks, anybody with any rudimentary medical knowledge will know that there has been damage to your heart. Every heart attack causes damage. That's why I just go, yeah, when somebody says it was just a mild heart attack. Look, you either live or you freaking die. It's that simple. There's no such thing as a mild heart attack. But if you want to read it and see if I was misreading it or not, feel free. I'm not going to mention the asshat by name because I don't want to embarrass him worldwide. But if somebody is saying something, if you don't believe them, fine. Keep that opinion to yourself. I have a little knot right here that reminds me every freaking day. It's a Boston Scientific implanted defibrillator. Cost $50,000. Would they have put one of those in me for any other reason? Would they have just said, oh, we want to put a defibrillator in you? Because there's not an issue like this jackwagon seems to think I have not been truthful about. Thank you, Cindy, because one person came to my defense in a rather, what some folks would say, crude but effective way. And that's my dear friend, Betty. Hell, if she was younger, if I were younger, I might propose to her. Nope. Mm-mm. There we go. But didn't unfriend him. Maybe one of these days he'll say, I apologize. Then again, wait a minute. I don't see pigs flying overhead anywhere. Oh, well. But don't forget, if you haven't voted, go vote tomorrow. It's very, very, very important. Cindy, if you figure out the reason why the good Lord's let me still stay on this earth, please let me know. Okay? Because, even my spiritual advisor, Reverend Ronnie Phillips, said, I don't know, but you're here for a reason. So, couple of things quickly. Florida Gators head coach Dan Mullen was fined $25,000 for the incident that occurred Saturday night against Missouri. An all-out brawl took place. So that goes to prove that when I added Florida coach Dan Mullen to the piece of shit list, I was pretty accurate because he was right in there in the middle of it. In fact, there's video evidence where Coach Mullins threw a punch. We're just 5 days away from something I've waited on for a long, long time. And that is the night that the Doobie Brothers are inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I've waited on it a long time. This is their first year of eligibility, the first year they were ever nominated, and they got in. And it's an eclectic mix of Doobie Brothers. Got Tom Johnston, Pat Simmons, John Hartman. That was the Doobie Brothers we knew up until then they added Skunk Baxter from Steely Dan. That's the Doobie Brothers we were accustomed to until Taking It to the Streets album. And that's where they introduce us to the guy that came in to replace Tom Johnston while he was hospitalized with pancreatitis and bleeding ulcers. And that's Michael McDonald. Oh, I forgot Tyrone Porter, bass player from the original Doobie Brothers. And then Michael McDonald, Keith Knudsen, times in concert than I have any other band. And I'll be there on next year, provided COVID is over, because I hung on to my tickets for the 50th anniversary show in Atlanta. I could auction that off. A trip to Atlanta. Nice place to stay. I'll have to give that some thought. Maybe I could do that. But we're going to wrap it up here. I know this has been kind of sporadic, but what the hell? That's the way it's supposed to be. Thanks to Jen Lambert at Nougat Radio, 92.7, Fred the Show, 7 to 10, Monday through Friday, for sending me the stuff to add them to my little video scroll at the beginning and the end of each edition of this, whatever you want to call it. Thank you, everybody. Cindy, Kim, Alan, Kurt, Michelle, Jane, hi. Oh, everything horror movies. I'm getting ready to hook up the YouTube TV so I can have back my Turner Classic Movies and hope like hell nothing happens, because I love that network. I love that network. Turner Classic Movies is, what is it? It's good stuff. I couldn't think of the one of the words Snoop Dogg uses. I guess I'm too old. Thanks, Alan. You too. You too, Kim. Tell Kip I said howdy. Congratulations to Gordon Lee, Class A softball championship, Ringgold AAA champions, and Heritage the 4A champions. Man, what Dana Mull has done at Gordon Lee is amazing. And what Tanner Moore is doing at Heritage, back to back to back 4A softball championships. And I love the way that Georgia does it in the fall. I think it should be in the fall. Monday Night Football is going to suck. So find you something good on television. Don't forget to go vote tomorrow. I couldn't be more proud of what my daughter Amy has accomplished. So remember, go vote. We'll see you here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. And